Maddie's Movie Mix is a podcast for movie enthusiasts of all kinds. We hope you enjoy the show.
Man, have you heard the joke of what do you call a man with no arms and no legs?
Matt!
Unarmed and defeated.
I have all my fingers.
All 10.
All 10.
All your toes?
I'm not depressed. Apparently, when you're down in the dumps, the thing to do when you don't like somebody is to cut off, like, your fingers.
Which is so weird.
We're talking about the movie, the Banshees of Inisherin? Inisherin or something like that?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
The Gingers of Ireland.
Here's a movie. I've said this a bunch of times. Here's a movie that had good reviews and all kinds of great things to say about it. And I was like,
acclaimed.
This is the one that we're going to do that is, like you say, critically acclaimed. Everybody loves it. All the critics love it. And I'm thinking, okay, it's a 50-50 shot, right?
Yeah. Flip the coin.
This shot was unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
I don't know who's stroking the critics to make them say this kind of stuff.
I don't know either. So, and that's the thing sometimes with me is like,
I don't like to be critical specifically because I know there's stuff that people enjoy that I don't and vice versa. It's just reality, right? Yeah. So I don't want to like tear things apart and someone's bad art or whatever you want to call it, right? But this is just,
Yeah, I don't know. I was watching it.
What's the story?
It's like a 2-hour film.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was like, where is this arc going?
Yeah.
But the whole time it's just two people complaining that one, I don't want to be friends with you. And the other one's like, well, I still want to be friends with you.
Yeah. And here's what I liked about it. I better say that right away too before I forget.
It's free on HBO Max.
Well, there's that. But you have to be an HBO Max subscriber for but simpler times would be really cool to go back to.
Right?
That was the only thing I could get out of this thing was like,
I really like the dog.
The simpler times, yeah, you know.
The dog is what I connected to.
1923.
Nice border collie.
Yeah.
They never even really set up when this timeline was. Like, obviously, you could pick it up based off of what was going on surrounding.
So there was one shot with a calendar. That's where I picked it up.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yes.
Well, normally I am used to a nice little screen that tells me 1873 Ireland.
Right, exactly. I agree.
Especially when it's going that far back in time. It really is supposed to be a different time period than what we're currently in.
Yeah, and that's what I was looking for, though. I was like, there was nothing, and then all of a sudden there's a calendar for April Fools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that, because that's where the guy was like, oh, you're just kidding me. You want to be friends?
Yeah.
Terrible April Fool's joke. Yeah, there weren't a ton of actors in the film.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
I will say they did a dang good job.
Yeah.
Like,
the grumpy man was a grumpy man.
But the dialect.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun dialect.
It was hard at first for me.
Yeah.
Like, I had to really tune in and like
that's
watch.
Why it's 2 hours. The first half hour is just to get you tuned into the accent.
Yeah, exactly. But once you got it, it wasn't too bad.
No.
And then, what's feckin'?
Well, I don't know. I don't think our podcast is explicit.
No. So we can't say that word? Is that really what it means?
I would assume so.
Okay. Because it's like F-E-C-K.
Yeah, that was the only thing I could correlate it to.
Yeah.
And I've heard...
But they kind of use it in different times and ways. So it was like...
Well, so do people use the other version of it.
Well, I guess, but I don't know. That was a little weird. Some of those were a little bit weird.
But it is in Ireland. Like, it is something they say in Ireland.
Sure. Not. I guess, didn't notice that when I was in Ireland, but...
That's because you were too busy kissing rocks.
Blarney Stones, mainly. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Maybe they did, but I didn't notice it. But
I've listened to like a few streamers and stuff where I've heard them use it before. So that's the only reason I've like was
gamers?
somewhat in tune. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
When I want to waste my good half hour of my life.
Yeah. Twitch or something?
Twitch. Well, I watch it on YouTube, and a lot of them bring it over to YouTube. So
I see. Sure.
But yeah, it was a weird. Oh yeah, Barry Keoghan was in it.
Yeah.
It was just there wasn't a lot of. It was.
Did they do this like just for their skill set?
I don't know what skill set they're basing it off. Besides that, they can do accents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the acting, I thought the acting was really good. I really thought the acting was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I really have to hand it to him on that.
Yeah, this is one where you really do have to separate the chemistry. Was I would say it was really good.
Yes.
Because you believed. Well, besides that, you didn't really fully understand why the old man didn't want to be friends. Besides that, I want to go write music because I have a short life. Not really believable. It would have been cool if they'd done
especially
flashbacks.
Spoiler, the whole finger thing. He cut his fingers off because whatever. But so to navigate that, here's my thought. He was saying like he wants his music, his art to last forever. Yeah. Right? How are you going to do music if you don't have, I mean, he's...
You know why?
So it's not about the music, in other words. It's not what it's about. No. But I couldn't figure out what it was about other than the guy's nuts.
Absolutely bonkers.
So anyway, that's...
And he sat... Okay, we already said spoilers, so let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Where he burned the house down and he just sat inside of it.
Right, but then he wasn't inside of it, and that was weird.
It was weird.
I mean...
The whole thing was odd.
Because where did he get out?
Yeah.
The burning house? Like, where did he...
He has tunnels.
He must have, man.
The dog dug him out.
I mean...
And then he doesn't even... I mean, the guy took his dog because he said, I'm going to burn your house down.
Yeah. So he left his dog outside.
Yep. Great.
Yep.
Really made it believe that the guy was going to die for no reason at the end of the film.
Yep.
And then
wait, it wasn't even the end.
Well, right. No. Right.
I mean, we still have more to go.
Yeah, yeah. And then he takes care of the dog for... You don't know the time period of between when the house burned and when he sees him again.
No.
Which is also odd.
There's a couple of those in there that were like...
What's the timeline?
Did a day go by or 2 or 3 or 10?
Well, then how long was the sister gone?
Yeah, I know, because the letter...
Yeah.
But the donkey just... So that was all weird.
Oh, my gosh. That was so stupid.
Yeah, so they screwed some of that up, in my opinion.
But the actors working together were great.
Yeah. Back on that, right, I guess.
So I gave it a 4.3.
Okay.
They did well.
Yeah.
Again, if you were to separate that from the story would have been like a 2.7 at max.
What's that word that you like that I use? Compartmentalize?
Yeah. Yeah. I say waffle. I like saying waffling.
Waffling? Yeah.
There's that.
Compartmentalize, yeah.
Because I don't know where I heard it, but there's that. What is it called?
I do have a dictionary right
Symbolism
here.
Or whatever.
So right before you get here, I'm always what word can I use to mess with Tyler today?
Yeah. Well, girls have spaghetti minds where everything's connected, but it may look like a mess.
Okay.
And then men have waffle brains because they can't compartmentalize everything because everything's in its own little square.
Noah, can we get some of that pictured here when we're talking about it?
Oh my gosh. Thanks, I had chicken and waffles the other day for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
I almost had that the other day.
Oh my gosh.
I've had it many times before.
I went to Five West. That's where I had it.
Sure.
Because
it's good there.
There's not a lot of places here that you get chicken waffles on a menu. I guess maybe. I guess I don't ever look at like maybe at Perkins or Denny's. I would be surprised.
No, I don't think so. I think like Cheap Charlie's maybe or whatever that one is. You can.
It was
Five West.
Super good.
It's really good.
I was highly. It was like a dessert.
Yeah, it really is.
10 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah.
But there's my waffle brain.
So yeah, you're a 4.3.
Yep.
I really had before I give you the score, I really had a hard time with compartmentalizing this because
we're switching roles.
Yeah, because that was good.
Yeah.
But the story behind it was so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you're from Ireland and you might get it. I don't know. But I really struggled. I mean, I like some of this kind of history stuff. I really do love to learn.
But it wasn't. You didn't learn anything about history through this.
No, that's why I was waiting.
Yeah.
So I'm like on the edge of my seat, waiting. What am I going to learn? How's this going to turn out?
How does the Civil War interact with what they're doing currently?
Which that's a whole different thing because that Civil War is essentially a religious war.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think if I'm remembering it correctly. So I gave it a 4.5.
Okay.
I had a really hard time getting to that though.
Yeah.
Because I really had to think about it. I really had to think about it. And I didn't like that.
Why do they kill the donkey?
Yeah.
There was just so many decisions in this film. So this genre is like character development. Like this movie is only focused on the characters.
Yes.
It doesn't. Action's not driving it. Drama. I mean, it is drama, I guess. Drives it, but this one wasn't that. And I feel a lot of these films are like.
I don't know. It's pretty dramatic when he cut his fingers off.
Gosh. Yeah, I flinched. But like, I feel like these films, people go for it because it's like Emmy. Like people go into this to get their Oscar or their Emmy or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've watched a lot of those films that they get Emmys, and I'm still like, I don't understand why.
Because it has nothing to do with the audience and has everything to do with skill.
I love being completely disconnected from my character.
And that's why I wanted to do this one, though, more from... And I think I'm going to really embrace that, like, an audience movie review.
Yeah.
Like, I really approached this as an audience type, like, mindset,
right.
I guess. Not like, well, we're going to do and get... we're going to know this and we're going to be expert at this.
That's right.
Nothing like that. And so it's like, what was the enjoyment aspect and how did, we kind of cut back. We're not doing cinematography, or we're doing actor chemistry, cinematography, and overall entertainment. And we cut out.
No. This part of the movie is really sad.
Yeah.
Gosh, this is why I love the dog. I love
right?
the dog.
Yeah.
And I'm not biased towards dogs at all.
I mean, you love cats.
This is just so sad.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, weird. I don't know. So anyway, we approach it just from that audience perspective. That's it. When you're talking about the... Is it the Emmys? It must be the Emmys because that's where actors and that's where the industry picks the.
As a great critique, I can firmly say it's. I have no clue. I think it is Emmys though.
Yeah. So anyway, it's like
their performances are great.
It's really good.
Yeah.
From that perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, they really learn the dialect and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, the actors spent time really getting invested in the roles.
Yeah. Truly.
You don't see that guy smile once.
Yeah, exactly. I think he sort of smirked a little, but and I liked him. I think the first time I saw him, what's his name now again?
I couldn't tell you.
Gleeson or something like that.
Yeah.
He's a Gleeson, right? In Ronin, I believe it was.
I think that's the second time we've talked about Ronin.
Yeah, I really liked Ronin.
Yeah.
That was a couple years after it came out. Back in
we'll need to do that movie soon.
Yeah, that's I really
enjoyed I think we talked about when we were watching Dune too.
Yeah.
Was Skarsgård? Is he in that one?
I haven't seen it in probably 20 years.
You are getting old.
Yeah, it's well, maybe not 20, but 15 for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and I really liked it. I even bought it on like Blu-ray or whatever when it came out when they did one of those things. Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't Blu-ray didn't even exist. DVDs hardly did when it came out.
It was all VHS probably still.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's just I don't know. Let's move on. I didn't like it.
Next topic. I think Ireland is a beautiful land.
It for sure is, but I thought that the colors just didn't seem natural enough to me. Like
there was it seemed like there was a filter. Yeah. There was a vibrancy to the greens compared to like the grays and stuff that didn't connect.
They forced the color.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Nope.
Here's another thing that was not
home.
at all real. I know actually a couple of different people who have cut their fingers off.
Yep. Tell me about it.
You don't go walking around.
No, you'd be bleeding out.
You bleed out for sure.
Yeah.
But you physically can't handle it.
Yeah.
It's too painful.
Yeah. Oh, I could only imagine.
So,
and I don't even want to imagine that because
Yeah.
I'd be puking in multiple different locations.
So anyway, the some of the lighting and some of those things, they were too forced for me.
Yeah.
So I had to, this is maybe in cinematography my lowest score.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's a 2.9.
Okay.
Something about it I didn't like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
it just seems so forced on a lot of it for me. Because I've been there.
Right.
Not to that island, but
right.
I mean, I've seen the rock walls, Obviously these are a little different because in the 1920s, but it just too much of it, the colors and different things were forced. So anyway,
I liked looking at the oceans and the landscape quite a bit.
Sure.
And we don't do filming locations as much anymore, but I remember any shot that I saw of it, which I'm going to tie more towards cinematography than anything else now. It was enjoyable to see. I really liked seeing the blocks and squares on the land.
Yeah.
There were some shots that were too dark, I thought, but again, it was kind of like when we did, there's another one we did recently. No, it was last year. Oh gosh. Can't remember what it's called, but it was too dark.
We've done like 65 movies or something like that. You can't remember them
It
all.
was the one with Adam Driver and Matt Damon. And
The Last Duel. Yeah.
Or it was too dark.
The old man remembers.
That's right.
You're welcome.
Hey, well, I gave you actors.
I know. I'm just messing with you. Yeah.
But like that movie was dark because
Yeah.
I would assume the reasoning was because everything's candlelit, and I mean the same idea here, but still you could have brightened up some of the scenes. So I didn't go quite so low because I did like looking at some of the shots and the scenes.
Yeah.
And again, cinematography is hard with this film because the story sucked.
But take this. Look at the green around the windows and now her yellow coat and some of that. It's no.
Yeah.
Just no.
I mean, I only gave it a 3.2.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah.
But I'll keep it above the 3 line.
Yeah, I feel kind of guilty, like how critical I feel about this film.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. I don't know, but...
People love this stuff. Somebody loves this because they keep making movies like this.
Yeah.
And actors still want to be it because it gets critically acclaimed for whatever reason.
And Lord willing, I'll get a lot older than I am now, and maybe I'll like stuff like this more. I don't know. But... When you get old enough where you don't actually watch the film, you just have it on the background, you're sleeping through it the whole time. Yeah.
I think that'd be perfect.
I'm like, oh, that was good.
2 hours passed. Oh, I really like that.
Totally.
It's like an alarm clock.
Totally. Yeah. So, I guess I've talked about this before. Overall entertainment in a film like this, when it's clearly not. So, I relate it to like what we're doing here. This is designed more to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Right?
Design is keyword.
Yes, design. Even though I'm not very entertaining, I get that. I'm pretty analytical.
Right.
I'm not by nature an entertainer.
That's what we learned when we first started doing this.
Right.
Emotional versus logical.
Exactly. So, but when you're putting something like this together, whether it be even a documentary or whatever, it is. You should have it. You want to be drawn into it more. So to me, that's like a little bit of that would be the category of entertainment.
Yeah.
So overall entertainment.
Right.
It took me 3 different times to watch this.
Like you started it and then had to start over?
Yeah. Not start over.
Oh, but you would pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I did a nice one sitting, but I was crocheting.
Well,
and the whole time
I just couldn't do it.
The hard part, this movie would have helped better if you understood any of the motives behind anything.
Yeah.
They could have done a few flashbacks where they were hanging out and were having a good time.
Yeah.
Building that relationship, connecting. Could have done a flashback with the older man. Something traumatic happened to him that led him to be like, no, we can't be friends anymore. And that would have helped build the story.
Yeah.
And then you could have had the animosity that they haven't communicated that fully to each other yet. And the story makes sense.
But then somebody would have had to actually written a good story.
Yeah, I know. Let's. I don't know. Actors talk about it all the time. Well, I read the script and it was fantastic. How do you read the script and say that?
Exactly.
The beginning of the film, the guy had 10 fingers. End of the film, he had. Did he still have his thumb?
No.
Oh, that's right. That's what he cut off first.
He
cut his pointer.
He cut his pointer. But
and then he cut the 4.
He cut the other 4 off. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall entertainment for me was a minus.
Oh, really?
No.
That's a new realm.
It's a 2-2.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some parts like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it obviously has to have a score. But it probably shouldn't.
No. Yeah, 2-5. It was not enjoyable. And I will never watch this film. Again, I really like the dog.
It cultures you a little bit, though.
Yeah, it does.
That's where I gave it the score, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, it cultures you a little.
Yeah. They really got the language down. See, these scenes were cool. I really like these shots.
Yeah.
But other than that, there was not a...
And it does look like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. You know, all the areas out in the country, obviously, not the city, but, so...
Yeah. Other than that,
this is why I don't like critically acclaimed, as you air quotes here, or where like the critics themselves rate it high. Like this is why I don't. This is almost every time.
If it wasn't for you, I don't think I ever would have heard this film.
No, exactly. And I didn't want to talk about it a lot. You probably noticed, like, oh, hey, Colin Farrell's in this, blah, blah, blah. Let's,
Yeah.
But I saw all the critics, what they said, not all of them, but that it was highly acclaimed.
And got
good scores, all these things, blah, blah, blah.
You said the only thing you could find was the advertisement budget, right?
Yeah.
It must have been like $10. Like, where did they?
No, the advertising budget was in euros. Yeah, euros. 200,000 euros was an advertising budget.
Maybe this was more of a European film, and
for sure
cross over to the U.S.
For sure it is, but
interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, there it is. I don't know.
Banshees. Could you imagine if this movie was just about banshees?
It was about banshees.
It's called the Banshees of Inisherin.
That's just the title.
I know, but could you imagine? Like, I don't know. I think banshees.
Was the old lady the banshee?
No.
I don't know.
Call old people a banshee.
She was kind of like
a feckin' banshee.
She was on the whole death kick.
That's true. Oh yeah, that weird girl.
Yeah, the old
2 people will die.
Right. Yeah.
There's just so many things in this film that didn't make sense to me character-wise.
No. Anyway, let us know what you think.
Tell us why it's good.
Well, don't watch. I mean, do what you want. I'm not going to say to watch this one. But definitely email us, comment, share.
And you can send that to LegitQ at Matty'sMovieMix.com.
Hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bells, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us. We appreciate it.
Life's too short to wear a shirt. I mean, a boring shirt. Check out www.shinybrandproducts.com.